In this video, I want to show you our brand new kettlebell framework that we call the Core 4. It is based on the Big 10. I've already made a video about the Big 10, which you can watch right here. I'm going to glance over them real quick so that you understand the Core 4 even better. These are exercises that I believe can give you so much bang for your buck. They can build muscle, that it can improve your endurance. You know what the kettlebell is? It is the tide that lifts all boats of physical qualities, and these exercises make sure that you get there. And if you're over 40 and you want to become strong, fit, and lean without going to the gym, download my free ebook in the first link in the description. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe Stark here. The kettlebell is the best GPP tool ever. And in this video, I'm going to give you these powerful most bang for your buck exercises. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to a concept that you have to understand once you advance in your training career. If you're just getting started, every time you pick up the kettlebell, you elevate all levels of GPP, which is great. But once you advance, you want to decide, do I either move towards hypertrophy and strength or towards strength, endurance, and endurance? And the way I do this currently is with my heart rate. So if my heart rate is elevated and I don't rest enough and I get back at it again, I want to build my endurance. If my heart rate is elevated and I want to focus on strength and hypertrophy, I'll wait for the heart rate to come back down so that my central nervous system can recover, so I can pack more tension into the exercises. And the exercises are crucial. You have to know what to use. And that's one of the reasons, understanding what the heart rate is all about is one of the reasons why you can then build muscle with some solid sport lifts and the Core 4 that I'm going to show you in this video. See, I've been working on this hybrid style ideology and this philosophy for a very long time. And these conversations with Levi Marquardt on the Kettle Nights podcast channel have elevated my understanding of this hybrid idea. Because we can use the sport lifts that many athletes normally use to improve their performance and then repackage them in a way with proper rest periods and proper volume and proper workout density and intensity and weight so that we can build more strength and hypertrophy. So this is that hybrid style idea. So make sure you keep your eye on your heart rate. Let's jump into the Core 4, these big bangers. But before you understand these exercises, we have to revisit the Big 10. Again, I'm gonna glance over them real quick. Like I mentioned, if you wanna watch the full video where I jump into detail with the Big 10, you find it in the link in the description. So exercise number 1 is the deadlift. Exercise number 2 is the row. Exercise number 3 is the goblet squat. Exercise number 4 is the reverse lunge. Doesn't matter where the kettlebell is. Exercise number 5 is the press. And now here come the ballistics. Exercise number 6 is any type of swing variation. Exercise number 7 is the clean. Exercise number 8, one of my favorites, the snatch. Exercise number 9, the jerk. Again, one of my favorites. And the final exercise, the windmill. Now let's jump into the Core 4, which are mostly doubles, using 2 kettlebells. And before you jump into 2 kettlebells, you have to have mastered the singles first. Let's check out exercise 1 of the Core 4, the clean and jerk, or also the jerk. Watch, clean and jerk. Or the jerk. No clean. With the double clean, you pay attention that once the bell comes up, you decide that one bell comes first and you interlace the other bell over the other. You have to understand the pendulum technique. And if you want to stand shoulder width apart, you have to push the knees out once the kettlebell drop between the legs. When the elbows are close to the body and the bells are racked, then keep a close contact to your stomach or either your hips. And now we jerk the weights overhead, dip, bump, falling into a second dip and racking the weight. One of the crucial mechanics of the jerk is making sure that once the kettlebell lands overhead, you relax the lower body, bending the knees and the hips, and you extend the elbows and pull the shoulders down. And this pulling down is a little bit hard to understand because it goes against the understanding. You think arms go up, but I have to pull them down. Yes, exactly. And if you're wondering what type of kettlebell I'm using, it's the Pro Kettlebell, the best kettlebell on the market, period. We are working hard to making it available in the EU, Switzerland, as well as the UK as soon as possible. We have a waiting list in the description where you can get notified once we open up shop. Check the link in the description to get 10% off your next purchase and use the code LEBE at checkout. The second exercise of the core 4 is the half snatch. Watch. The half snatch is the reason why I sometimes wear wristbands, because slinging and snatching both kettlebells overhead into the top fixation sometimes creates some issues with my hand insertion with heavier bells. Granted, it might be that my technique still has to improve, but I just feel a little bit comfortable with double 24s snatching them overhead. Now, contrary to the regular snatch, you can't really use a lot of upper body momentum because you lack the ability to use your body as leverage. You can use it to a certain extent, but it's not the same as if you're just snatching one bell. The rack position is the same like in the clean and press or the long cycle or clean and jerk. And so for that matter, you need that rest position to catch your breath and then drop it back down, trying to keep the arms extended. And as the bells go overhead, we fall into a second dip so we can reduce the distance so we can do more work. Exercise number 3 of the core 4 is the thrust jerk. My création. Watch it. So the thruster, while it is awesome, it can still be very taxing if you try to move heavy weights overhead. And with the second dip, we can again reduce the distance that the kettlebell has to travel, which means we can then put in more reps. And it feels awesome. And it's one of those inventions of mine where I think, or where I tried it for a couple of workouts and it sticks. I've tried many things in my kettlebell training career, and almost 99% of it did not stick. But this one, go give it a shot. You won't regret it. And then exercise number 4 is the Renegade row, a monster combo. Watch. We stand in that sprawl position, and then we pull one bell up after the other. I think that I want to pull the handle towards my stomach, elbow close to my body. I don't want to do Zumba dancing with my hips. I try to stay as stable as possible. So there you have it. These are the core 4 exercises that are going to take your kettlebell and body and fitness journey to the next level. You have to master singles first. They are a beast in and all by themselves. But once you master them and you pick up doubles, you're going to change everything about your body. I've been doing doubles for a very long time now. I had to stop for my Master of Sport prep, but once I got Master of Sport in Snatch, I immediately reverted back to doubles, and I'm so in love with this type of training. It gives me everything that I need. And we want to follow this 30-minute framework. So if you use exercises of the Big 10 or the Core 4, always think about that 30-minute framework, that you don't want to train longer than 30 minutes, of course, deducting the time that it takes for you to warm up and cool down. So even if you are setting your ship towards strength and muscle gains, you're still going to get some endurance gains as well, because the kettlebells demand this hybrid or special endurance. So if you're able to put lots of tension into these exercises, and then maybe on a different day, you're going to use another exercise of the Big 10, maybe the clean or the snatch or the half snatch or the jerk or the swing, and then build your engine, you will be able to improve your workout density, which means once your engine improves, this is your overall fitness, your endurance, then you can pack more punch into your hypertrophy and strength work because you can do more work in the same or less amount of time. I feel like the hybrid style TBO method is just expanding and growing, and we are popularizing it, so you are right now taking part in this moment of kettlebell history where I believe we are finalizing and putting the last touches on this hybrid idea. If you want to learn more, please go watch these powerful podcasts that I had with Lebe and Marquardt. They're going to elevate your understanding, and it's going to take your journey to the next level. So here's the next thing that you have to do. Clean and press that like and subscribe button. Share with a friend who's also interested in kettlebells. And if you made it this far, download my free ebook in the first link in the description called the Kettlebell Code. If you're over 40 or 50 or 60, you don't have a lot of time, but you still want to take care of your fitness, this is where the kettlebell comes in, and I'm going to show you a shortcut to success. So what are you waiting for? Download that free ebook in the first link in the description or in the pinned comment.